One of Trump's Christian advisors to his campaign went on a radio show stumping for him, and he made an awesome claim. So this is Pastor Robert Jeffress. Let's check it out.
You know, I was debating an evangelical professor on NPR, and this professor said, "Pastor, don't you want a candidate who embodies the teaching of Jesus and would govern this country according to the principles found in the Sermon on the Mount?" I said, heck no. I would run from that candidate as far as possible, because the Sermon on the Mount was not given as a governing principle for this nation. Nowhere is government told to forgive those who wrong it. Nowhere is government commanded to turn the other cheek. Government is to be a strong man to protect its citizens against evildoers.
Pete,
when I'm looking for somebody who's going to deal with ISIS and exterminate ISIS, I don't care about that candidate's tone or vocabulary. I want the meanest, toughest son of a you-know-what I can find.
Okay.
And I believe that's biblical.
Where do I begin with this gem? So we finally found something that'll make Republicans argue for secularism. All you have to do is say, oh, okay, you want to implement the Bible into law? Great. So let's do the happy parts, the good message from Jesus. Let's take all the good things he says about looking after the poor and not going to war and respecting everybody as individuals. Let's take all that good stuff and implement that in the government. All of a sudden, this guy's like, I think that's a bad idea. And, you know, I want everybody to know separation of church and state is great. Secularism is awesome. Don't put religion in the state. Definitely, if you're going to pick the good parts of the Bible about treating people decently, don't put that in the government. Please don't do that. So, okay, right up front, let me just say, well, thank you. I do agree with you on secularism. Let's keep the government and religion separately. But isn't that incredible? So he's asked, do you want a candidate like Jesus? He's like, no. So then presumably if Jesus came back and he's like, and these guys were right about everything, even though they're not, Jesus comes back and he's like, I'm going to lead not only the United States, but the world. If he's consistent in his logic and Jesus is in the happy-go-lucky mode, like he is in most of the New Testament, he'd be like, no, I will go with Donald Trump over you. Thank you very much. But see, this proves it, man, that definitely with these people, you're talking about, it's not really about the religion. What it's about is they are politically conservative, they're far right-wing, and then they use the religion and they cherry pick from the religion to back up that ideology and that belief system. So if you point out something in the Bible that's the opposite of what their philosophy is, so you point out helping poor people, you point out Jesus being flat out anti-rich, you point out being anti-war, and they're like, that's inconvenient, ignore that part, let's go to the shitty parts of the Bible. And then he came full circle at the end. Did you notice? Like I was saying, oh, he's arguing for secularism there. Now, he's actually not, because by the end he said, I think that's biblical. So he's saying, don't look at the good parts of the Bible, look at the bad parts of the Bible, and that's the biblical stuff I want to implement. So he says, I need somebody who's going to protect us from all the bad people. That's what I need. I need somebody who's a strong man. He said a strong man, a tough, you know what? Gosh golly, let me tell ya. So he still wants to implement his religion, but he just wants to pick the shittiest parts of the religion and implement it. That's what's going on here. And he says a strong man. Yes, I would like a strong man. I would like an authoritarian leader. Well, you know, it's nice that when they just wear it on their sleeve, that the majority of Jesus' message in the New Testament, write all that off, because it doesn't coincide with their politics, focus on the bad parts, and just, you know, cover your ears, cover your eyes, hear no evil, see no evil, just give me a strong guy that will protect me. I'm so scared. So they're driven by ignorance, they're driven by hatred, they're driven by fear, and this is a great example of them just admitting it. I mean, think about how sad that life philosophy is. Like, that's your position. That's as far as you go when it comes to picking somebody. I need a strong man who will protect me from evil. That's what I need. That's like pathetically shallow and so profoundly anti-intellectual. And yet this guy's out there stumping as if like, I have a good point to make. You have to listen to me. I'm really scared. Pick a strong man and shut the fuck up. So then drop the whole pretense of caring about the entire Bible and caring about the good parts and caring about Jesus' message. You just admitted, man, I'm not going to vote for a Jesus-like candidate. I wouldn't vote for Jesus himself. I'd go for Trump and a strongman over him. By that logic, I mean, you'd be picking some shady characters over who you say is your God. Saddam Hussein was a strongman. I want that guy over that guy because, hey, I got to be protected, right? So by any means necessary, because that's what Jesus was about. You got to attack them before they attack us. That's what he said. He never said anything like turn the other cheek. So, like if your enemies come after you and they hit you on one side of the face, you show the other side and say, hit that too. Jesus never said that. He was very clear. Be a strong man, go on the offense, and you do the attacks first, because that's the moral thing to do.